I have surpassed 700 subscribers, and I'm very happy about that. As I announced about a week ago, I'm going to do a Q&A for the subscribers. Here we go. So the first question is by Elise Destasio 7280. What made you start a YouTube channel? So thanks for the question. So if you look back on my channel, one of the earliest videos I did was about Giorgio de Chirico. And I had been watching YouTube for a while, and I read a book about Giorgio de Chirico, and I disagreed with the author. I had a lot of conviction about my ideas and why I disagreed with this author named Paolo Baldacci. The book is called The Metaphysical Years by Paolo Baldacci. And so I had this extreme conviction about why he made a mistake in diminishing the value of Giorgio de Chirico's late work. I spent a lot of time on that video. It's over 2 hours. At one time it was 3 hours. And wow, I was just very after I did that video, it just took a lot of work. I think it probably took me over a year. I had to plan it, I had to research it, I had to write it, I had to narrate it, I had to do the editing, the audio, it just went on and on and on. After I did it, I didn't look at my channel for at least a couple of years. I was just so exhausted and overwhelmed, and I'm very happy with that video because it has over 35,000 views. And still to this day, there aren't many videos on YouTube about Giorgio de Chirico. So anyway, that started, and I knew I didn't have any other big ideas after that. So gradually grew into what it is today. And it is, I see it as an evolving enterprise. Right now, it's book reviews and art reviews. So Elise Destasio asked another question: what is your favorite book? My favorite book is The Story of Civilization by Will Durant. Now I know that's 11 volumes, and so to call that a book, I'm calling it a book. But it's 11 volumes. The latter books are written with Ariel Durant. The whole thing had a great impact on my life. But that book is to the core of myself, and after I read it, I really felt like I understood so many things about literature and history, and it helped me understand all kinds of things because it deals with civilization and law and art and literature and science and morals and exceptional people in the history of civilizations. And so it just deals with so many things. It really straightened out my head to read that book. And so that is my favorite book. And also I want to say about it, when I was reading that book, I didn't know much about other books. But throughout the many volumes, Will Durant is always mentioning other books and books that he likes. And I was writing them all down. And so I have a list of at least 30 books that he mentions in The Story of Civilization. And I've made it through many of those books. So The Story of Civilization serves as a skeleton for a life's worth of reading, because you can just branch off on all these other subjects. So that's my favorite book. Okay, the next one is, how long have you been making YouTube videos? So yeah, my first videos are like 2015. And like I said, after I made that one on Giorgio de Chirico, I stopped for a while. Since then, I tried to figure out what my channel was about. Then and it was going to be about art reviews, good art exhibits that are nearby, are accessible for me, are difficult to find. So then I found BookTube and I started doing book reviews. So I like that too. So right now I see it as a combination of art exhibitions and book reviews. The last 3 years, every year I've tried to do more videos than I had done the previous year. And I'm going to continue with that. Okay, the next question is by Goldman 7896. Hi, I just came from your review on the Charterhouse of Parma, and I'm about to start it. One question I have is how your background has influenced your passions today. The most significant part of my background is my art background, and it's the practice of art. But as a part of that, I always liked art history. I always liked reading about artists. And so those two things, I think, are the most significant parts of my background. Now, I do read literature because I'm trying to broaden my worldview and move into literature. But I'm a little different than a lot of people on BookTube who've been reading literature there since they were children. I was not that kind of person. I think that sets my channel apart. While I was in school, I never specialized in literature or never saw myself as a reader of literature. So I think that gives me a different perspective than a lot of the booktubers. So I look at literature from an eye of an artist. That's the way I see it. Oh yeah, the Charterhouse of Parma. The Charterhouse of Parma, a couple of reasons why I read that. It really was just a challenge. You know, it was just a challenge to myself. Like, hey, I've heard of Stendhal. He has a good reputation, and I like the challenge. That's how I got into it. So this is also by Goldman 7896. I would also like to know what were the most influential books you've read and why they have been influential to you. I would say, The Story of Civilization, which I covered. And also that one by, that book is right. I can see it right there, and I'm going to hold it up and show it to you. So this is the book on De Chirico called The Metaphysical Years by Paolo Baldacci. This was a very significant book for me. I had liked De Chirico when I was taking art classes in university. And then I revisited him, and I found this book, and it just really opened up my eyes to what he was doing. And the final comment is from Deborah Scotland, 8819. Congratulations, David, well deserved. Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate you following me and subscribing to my videos. So anyway, I'm glad that people are interested in how I think. I'm going to continue to make videos. I hope that you guys will join me in my videos in the future. So thanks for watching.